Howdy. Let's improve this a little bit. Hello yourself, good sir. All right. Okay, so that should be fine. All right. We will wait just a little bit, wait for some more people to maybe show up. If not, we'll get on with everything. Get everything. I didn't, Retribution. I did not, I have not watched WWE in so long, I could not tell you. So, but from the sounds of it, from what I'm hearing, it's okay concept, bad execution. So you're talking very, very, very Vince Russo-like. Very, very Vince Russo-like. People always say I influenced them, and I don't know how, because I always wonder about that, since that's not like how I see things. Because let's see, let me get this started up. Since there were other people that were here before me, especially people I think were actually better. So there's that. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure you are, Brandon. I'm sure you are. It's good to see you, sir. Yeah, I heard it was a worse version than Aces of 8 and 8s, which is pretty bad. I mean, actually, because I thought Aces and 8s was like a worse version of whatever the what was it? I can't remember. The motorcycle dudes from that shot off from Nation of Domination. I'm doing okay. I mean, I don't think anybody's doing great at the moment, so I will say I'm doing okay. Disciples of Apocalypse, that was it. Yes, them. And I always really liked them. I never understood why WWE didn't use them more, so that was kind of like, so you would think I would like Aces and 8s, and of course, like most things in TNA and Impact, whatever you want to call it, didn't come off nearly as good as it should have. But so I'm guessing I'm guessing everybody here has probably watched at least some of the G1, right? Because I'm like, I did the pick thing, and I'm like way behind on the pick thing. What was the last? Was it Tuesday? Was that night 4? That killed me. That absolutely killed me. Yeah, I heard the names. Names were horrible. I don't know. The ROH product right now, as we speak, is really good. Is really, really good. So I think what happened is you had a company that wasn't going to spend a lot of money on ROH, and then you had basically AEW is what everyone wanted ROH to always be. It's not, but what they're doing with the Pure title right now is really, really, really good. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. All right, we've gone about 5 minutes. I guess we can start with what I was going to start with. So, and maybe waste some more time with. I got stuff to unbox. We can do that. We can do that real quick. I got stuff to unpack. Got stuff from Pro Wrestling Tees right here. Yes, the Pure title is definitely back to basics. I had not followed ROH in so long, I couldn't even tell you like what was like when they originally did the Pure title. Wasn't even aware of that. So yeah, it is very much like kind of what it is. So, all right, let's see what we got from Pro Wrestling Tees. This was more grab baggy stuff, except for one thing, which I knew I was getting because I ordered it, which was the Arn Anderson Enforcer little dude, because it's Arn Anderson, and we have to have Arn Anderson. So there is that. And another Cody sticker, and another CM Punk sticker. Is this another? Oh, cool. See, I'm fine with this. I got like a bunch of the same stuff, which that's fine. So we won't be doing that again. Another Lawler and Kaufman poster, which I got last time. Yay. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think ROH would be alive if it wasn't for them. So for Sinclair, so I completely understand why people are kind of upset. Another Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Edge and Christian ripoff. And another poster, another. I already had one of these, so I now have two. And that was a waste, but it wasn't that much of a waste, really. And another. Oh, look! Another Terry Funk poster. Yay! We might do our own little grab bag and get rid of all of that. But yes, I did get the Arn Anderson. So the Arn Anderson is good. Arn Anderson is a good thing. So yeah, we like that. But yeah, so I have another thing to unbox. This should be better, I hope. I believe this is where I think. Yes. So from the U.S. store of our good friends at New Japan. I'm gonna get a knife. Just a second. Let's see what New Japan stuff we got here. I am dealing fine with Corona. Where I work has not been affected that much. Being home all the time does suck. Not being able to do a lot of things I want to do sucks. The biggest thing has been, so last year, right about this time last year, actually in January, or in November of last year, my father passed away. And we were going to wait until the spring to actually do his memorial service. You can tell how well that's gone over. So that has been kind of the biggest issue, has been we haven't been able to do the memorial service we want to really able to do, because we wanted to have a lot of people. He touched a lot of people's lives from around the country. We have a lot of extended family. And when I say extended, I mean people who are not even really kind of relatives who are seen as relatives. So not being able to do that has really, really, really sucked. But other than that, and my kids going absolutely crazy, not too bad. So this is from the New Japan. They have their own little grab bag thing. The only issue with these is you don't know what size shirts you're going to get. So we will see. Luckily, if I don't like something, maybe someone else will. So what do we got here? We have a car freshener, I'm guessing. Interesting. We got little wipe off thingies for your electronics, your cell phones, that sort of thing. Your Lions break. Yay, Lions break. Let's see, we got Chaos, Wilson Universe, Bullet Club. Not too bad. Not too bad there. What size shirt is this? This is an extra large. An extra large is not bad. We have New Beginning, USA. I can live with that. Wasn't able to go to the show, so I was able. I will be fine with that. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. This one, another extra large. Oh, very cool. That's one I actually wanted. It's all mirrored, so but you guys can, I'm sure, figure it out. So there you go. This one looks smaller. Yes, this is a small. So there we go. And what else do we have? Jeez, there's a lot. There's a ton of shirts in here. This one looks fairly large, maybe. Yes, this is a 4XL. This is a little bigger. This is a little big for me, but yeah. But that's cool. Someone in the house, and of course we got the New Japan bag. So not a total waste. That was kind of cool. That was kind of nice. So let's see. I appreciate the thoughts about my dad. He got very sick, so it was one of those things where it was kind of better off that he did pass away. So my thoughts on EC3 going to Impact instead of AEW. I would imagine, I don't know. I don't know all the details of that. So, but I do think he probably would have been better. Yes, T-shirts, Chase, all sorts of T-shirts. Because at work I need all sorts of T-shirts, anyways. I think it would have been. I think AEW would have been interesting. Just because he's not the best wrestler in the world, but he does cut really good promos, and I do think they could use more guys who could cut really good promos. So there is that. And no, I will not be doing a live stream with Spinner. I don't know, is Spinner not even a thing? I mean, really? I need. Yes, Kojima shirts would be good too. I would be all sorts about that. That's possible. Him going to Impact because there's too much competition would be fine. So yeah. So speaking of AEW, let's talk about AEW a little bit. Let's talk about the greatness that has been this past week of the shows. So I started by watching AEW Dark, and Chase is here, and Chase warned me that this was not a smart thing that I chose to do of watching AEW Dark all the time. And I started watching it. They started doing 2.5 hour shows, which was absolutely, or 2.5 hours, listen to me, an hour and a half shows, no promos. I'm fine if you want to do an hour and a half show of stuff that is squash matches, enhancement matches. That's fine. There's absolutely no problem with that. And there was actually a really, really good, two great match on this week's Dark. But to get to that match, you have to set through so much stuff, and there's no break. It's wrestling, 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 wrestling. There's no promos. There's no nothing. You had 4 people on commentary whose cohesiveness is all not okay. It's very hard to set through. Very, very hard, which makes it really stupid. Because then, of course, they did the Dynamite late night thing, the 1 hour show, which was awesome. It shows that they know how to do a show like this, and they refuse to do it. Now, I understand that they put a lot of people on Dark so that they can get, ring time. Still, you can do that without doing this, because they also need promo time. So they should be doing promos. I do not understand why there is no promos on that show. But Late Night Dark was really good. And of course we had the thing with with Dynamite, where of course Lance Archer, COVID was not at the show. This was bound to happen sooner or later. It was kind of like I like watching Dynamite, but it was I was like, okay, sooner or later someone's gonna pop. They've been very lucky. And of course we saw what happened with that. And of course WWE the same week. And then you find out that, a bunch of these people are being stupid, especially in Florida. So there was all of that. But the two shows were really good. Dark was horrible. I would not recommend watching it, but it is kind of what it is as far as that goes. So so let's see what's going on. Do you think Miro's AEW run has been disappointing so far? It's not what I would have done. I wouldn't say disappointed. We will see. I didn't like the match, the tag match from Dynamite, but I did think that I don't think it's been disappointing. I think we have to kind of see where it goes. I will judge it once we get past the wedding. I think the wedding will be the things. So there you go. Cody Rhodes thinks he's done. I wouldn't say he thinks he's the Undertaker now. I think he just changed his look, which was fine. I think he needed to change a look. So I don't think that is a bad thing. COVID. Hello, Marquine. Well, Impact is alive because they got bought out by whoever bought them out, or they wouldn't be alive. They'd be probably dead and gone. I can't remember the company that bought them, but that's the only reason why they're alive. Very much the same reason why ROH, but I would say I think ROH has been handled better. I mean, I've not watched Impact and I can't remember in years. So I think that I think yeah. Baron will never be AEW World Champion. He's not main event material. I disagree. I think he could be really good. It's just going to depend. It might diminish, but it never dies. That's pretty true. I have not been watching the New Japan Strong shows. I think I'm going to go back and start watching them, though. So there you go. Anthem. Yes, Anthem is the one that bought them, and for basically the same reason. But then Anthem ended up buying Access, which just screwed everybody because then we didn't get, the replay of the New Japan shows. So yeah, so there was all that too, which is no good. But yeah, like I really like AEW, but Dark is just horrible, and I don't understand why they can't. Like, to me, you could make Dark very much like the old, Georgia Championship Wrestling, the old TBS show. You could make it that, and it would be fine. And they don't do that. And so it's very weird to me. I mean, I know some people have said, oh, well, they do it this way and this way so they get more views. Let's be honest. If they wanted more views, the thing that they would do is magically they would start doing intergender wrestling because that gets you views on YouTube. So not for the right reasons, but, it is what it is. What's your thoughts on the era of YouTube wrestling? I've not watched any YouTube wrestling stuff really, and probably I can't remember when, so I couldn't tell you like what I think. I mean, you have, because it's basically the same thing as like YouTube in general. You've got the people who kind of latched on to a places with money who could promote them through YouTube, which is basically what you have to do now. And if you don't, then it's extremely difficult unless you have like another community you're kind of leeching off of. So there is that, and I think if you look at like the YouTube stuff, especially with wrestling, I mean, most of the people you would expect to be here are not here. They're basically doing podcasts now. So there is that. Do I watch NWA Power? No, did not watch NWA Power. So sorry, not my thing. So yeah, so then of course we have the G1 as well, which the G1 has been pretty great, I think. I'm doing horrible in my pick'ems, but yeah, I think there's a lot of good stories. See, you shouldn't do a pick'em contest when you haven't been following a product. Because again, since I haven't been following a product, I just kind of went with like what I thought they would do, and that's been like completely not right. So, Besides Doug, does anyone still care about what's going on in WWE? I don't know. I don't care. So Ryback going to AEW. I can't see him going to AEW because I mean, I guess I couldn't see him going to AEW. I just couldn't. It just doesn't seem. Yeah. I'm sure people do care what's going on in WWE more for the the reason of wanting people to come on here and basically just go off about WWE like all the time. I'm sure that's a big part of it. So I would imagine, but yeah, so let's see what else. Yeah, I don't even watch NXT. Like I completely, and I know that bothers people, but I completely, they're like no WWE whatsoever. My wife is very much like, why did you do that? Because she's like, we used to watch WWE. We don't watch WWE anymore. I was like, because I don't want anything to do with that. What did I think of? I thought White versus Ibushi was like great. I wouldn't say amazing, but I thought it was great. But I don't hate White matches as much as some people do. So there you go, Markeem. I don't like them as much as you do, though. I don't like them as much as you do. But I mean, the problem is you had Ospreay and Ishii. That's the problem. You had that. That was awesome. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you can tell that if you look at NXT, right, and you look at when they went to Tuesdays and they did so well, it's like why not do what's best for NXT? Of course, what's best for NXT is for them to cycle guys through NXT much faster than they already do. So yeah, there is that. Which I think is the biggest problem with NXT over the last since probably not even since AEW started, probably when WWE started just signing guys up to stop at the time was Ring of Honor, and then they really started signing people up before AEW was a thing, but they knew AEW was going to be a thing, and they started signing guys up because the thing that I think a lot of people liked about NXT back in the day was that people were cycling through it, so there was a lot of freshness to it, which there just isn't now, and that's a problem, I think. So yeah, I think the thing with White's matches is I think he's going to get hurt more with the crowds. If I had hopes that the crowds were going to be great, but after that show, I'm like, well, it's going to be hit and miss maybe, and that's no good. So a takeover show is really hurting without any fans. Yeah, but I think it's just the way they produce things. I think it's the way because you look at everybody else. I mean, you look at like Ring of Honor, right? And Ring of Honor with the pure tournament, which everyone should be watching, by the way. I'm just telling you, that's some awesome stuff. If you go out there and you look at that and you look at it and you look at the way they've done it, they pretty much showed what you can do. But of course, WWE has to go, NXT has to go live because they have to go against AEW and all that, which, again, you're doing something to try to hurt another product, which isn't working really. And you're hurting your own product. It's really just, why does hit or miss? Yeah, he's hit or miss for, I think, most people. Yeah. Usaga had an amazing crowd. That was like so good. Yep. It absolutely no good that New Japan is not on Access anymore. But to the question before about the New Japan, the American stuff in New Japan, I have not watched it. I plan on, like, I was so not following anything with New Japan. I didn't even realize that stuff was going on because I was just like, there was just so much going on. my wife has like really high anxiety normally, and when you throw in everything that's been going on, her anxiety is like up here somewhere. And so yeah, and then with work, because basically we are like we were peak time. We've been peak pretty much time working since March, and normally, that's not the case. So I've been like, yeah, it's hard for me to have followed as much, but I've been trying to. So I was like, oh, look, it's that. I was like, oh, that's cool. I wish I had been watching that, and I hadn't. So there you go. I think everyone is gaga over New Japan, but no one knows what's happening with All Japan. I don't watch All Japan. I'm sure Sean, I saw him on here. I'm sure he can tell you all sorts of what's going on. But yeah, I just know that they said that All Japan is doing a bit better than it was, but I have not seen it, so I cannot judge, and I'm not about to go down that rabbit hole and try to do those tournaments as well. So that's no good. Probably not, because I started getting strikes for using that. So so I will probably not use the Mother Song again, which is weird because I never used it long enough to get strikes. But I was getting strikes for their tinkering right now. The solo stuff ain't the business. Okay, whatever. Huh? Classic ever do a live stream? I don't know. Maybe. The great thing about NXT is how Adam Cole has been killing it. Do you still keep in touch with Mutant? I doubt he's ever coming back. The last time I talked to him was a very, very long time ago. I do like every great once in a while. I do talk to him, but not very much. Last time I talked to him, I believe he's still living in California, like Northern California, I believe. But yeah.